hope he continue on trying to get in there.
Yeah, whenever he gets in, we'll get him on board. But I'm going to go live to Facebook right now.
Really?
All right.
I thought you were gonna have some Central stuff on, man. 1983 Rams.
No, I was trying to. All my stuff too little now. Yeah, I see
all
you.
that back there?
I see you. I see you. I see you.
Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, here we go. We are live, fellas. Let's see. We still waiting on Steve Harvey. So whenever he gets it figured out, we'll get him on board. But welcome to Peoria area's rich basketball history, celebrating Peoria area's rich basketball history. Youngsters these days need to do their homework. So here's another lesson. This story is different than, well, this show is different than the other 9 shows that I've done, because it's basically talking about a situation that happened in 1979 with some brothers that I basically grew up with since about the age of 12 and battled in high school. So I call them the Super Six, and we got 2 of them here right now to tell their story. It's a fascinating story, and I thought it was worthy of having on the show. So let me introduce my brothers right here from Manual. We got Alfonso. They call him Al Alexander.
That's right.
All right. And then we got my brother. We go back to our days playing together at Sterling Grade School when we were 13 years of age. Ivan the Iceman Stone. What's going on, my brothers?
All right.
What's happening? All right. Hey, don't forget our JFL years.
I'll never forget the JFL years. We won a championship, so I'll never forget that.
Right.
But I gotta set this story up. So to set it up, we got to go back a little bit further than 1979. I'm gonna ask Al first. Who put the ball in your court? Who was instrumental in getting you started in the game of basketball growing up on the south end of Peoria? Who got you started, brother?
Well, everybody knows my dad. He played basketball, not in high school or anything like that. He went to work at Caterpillar. By the time he was supposed to be in 8th grade, he ended up, like I said, working for Vernacular Junction. Then he ended up getting on Caterpillar. So he in the Caterpillar leagues, he played with Howard Nathan's dad and stuff like that. And I would always go with him. He always would take me with him, because I'm named after my dad. I'm a junior. Always would take me with him and stuff, as we was growing up and stuff. And always wanted to play and do that. And like I said, I was probably about 4 or 5 years old and stuff, and sometimes I run out on the court, like when my dad getting an altercation, I run out on the court like I'm going to do something and stuff, But, it was just playing just like the game of basketball. And he used to tell me, sit right here. Because if you don't sit right here, you run back out here again, I'm going to beat you. So I'll sit there.
You can say it.
Yeah. I sit right there and I'll sit there and I watch those games. But as I started growing up, he started letting me play. And one major player I knew back in that day was Fife. And our referee was Swede. So you know how long ago that was back then, and playing with those people, going over there to peeking and over there. I mean, you don't win, always losing. But for some reason, they find a way to win. Like I said, they was in the Caterpillar League, and I learned playing basketball through my dad, man. And then as I was growing up, we were playing in the neighborhood in the Manual Manors. People come from the Taft homes, the Harrison homes, the Warner homes, all try to come down there. And then we had to go home and get our big people. And one of our big people was dad. You know, he can handle the rock and he shoot that jumper. You know, so he mirrors my dad. Even though Johnny Washington is younger than my dad, he played like Johnny, but he also played like Roger Hightower with that speed, with that ball. You know, so that's how I got started playing with my dad. Man, I love my dad. Like I said, we still keep in touch. Even though he lives out of town right now today, but he was my instrumental. That was my man, my dad.
Now, a lot of us play biddy basketball. I can go back, getting my start playing biddy basketball for the YMCA, playing in that little gym down in the basement at the YMCA downtown. Did you play in that as well?
That's my dad. That's what I'm saying. Down there, that's where they had that boxing. Like when people got
mad. Where they brought the rims down low?
Yeah. Brought the rims down. And then if you get mad, you want to fight somebody, they had a room for you to go and box. Put some boxing gloves, boxing stuff. And that's when everybody started waking up because, you know, you start respecting each other's game and stuff, you know, and then if you want to go box, we got some place for you to go box, you know, where you can go ahead and take out your aggression somewhere else while we finish playing basketball. And this is basketball, this ain't boxing. So yeah, definitely. That's my dad. He played on the Y leagues too. So he played in the older group and I played in the younger group. Yep, exactly.
Okay, so I started playing grade school basketball at Thomas Jefferson in the 4th grade. Me and Doug Altenberg were the only 4th graders on the team. When did you start playing grade school basketball?
My first year playing grade school basketball was 4th grade at teen school. I had just left Lincoln because I went to Lincoln from preschool to the 3rd grade. It was supposed to be preschool to the 4th grade, but I had problems in the 3rd grade. So, you know, when I got to
what kind of problems did you have in the 3rd grade, bro?
Just like you, boo. You graduated before me, but I'm older than you probably. They held me back just to see if I knew what I knew. If I didn't know, they knew. So
okay.
And when I got the team, that's where I met Tony Gulley at, you know, and then we went from there. But I got my first start at teen. I was in 4th grade. And then, like I said, my 5th grade, I started. In my 6th grade, I started. And it was only K through 6th grade at that time, you know. Mm-hmm. So we ended up winning that 6th grade championship, city league, 6th grade. So that was, you know, my first year playing, my 5th grade year. We ended up getting 2nd place to Harrison. You know, them big boys that they had back then, them days with David Doherty and DJ and Aaron Kelly and Estelle and all them. We had to play them and stuff. They beat us by 40 every time because nobody was doing the scoring. Nothing back then with just me and Tony. And remember, we just getting our feet wet, you know, playing organized basketball.
So you and Tony were the 1-2 punch in 7th and 8th grade, making a name for yourself in the city because it was a ripple effect. If you was doing business at the school that you attended, everybody in the circle knew about you know? Yes. So that was the case for you and Tony. You were the 1-2 punch, right?
Yep. After our 5th and 6th grade year, we left teen and went to Tree Wind. We went to Tree Wind. Same thing happened just like at teen. 7th grade year, we ended up getting we weren't even supposed to place, you know, and and we ended up getting 4th place. My 7th grade year, 4th place, and then my 8th grade year, we ended up winning the championship. They thought it was going to be Lincoln was supposed to win it, and Blaine Sumner was supposed to be close behind and stuff, but all you kept hearing, and I'm saying right now, while you watching Steve, get on the phone, all you kept hearing was Steve Harvey, and I wanted to meet Steve. I wanted to meet Steve, but before then, I had ran into Bob Buford. So Steve and Bob ran into each other before me, so I was like, good, you know. And I'm thinking, well, they're gonna be close and stuff like that. And they come to find out, Blaine had beat Steve Harvey now, and I'm sitting back like, whew. I dodged that boy because Steve literally, he was averaging closer to 30 at 5 feet, 5'2", whatever he was, you know, just so quick. And I'm like, you know, I'm going to get my oxygen mask, gas mask on, whatever, because I'm going to chase him around, he's going to chase me around. And, right. And like I said, I didn't get a chance to meet him. I didn't get a chance to meet him in the 8th grade and stuff, but Bob put it on each other. They both probably had about 30 apiece. And then I ended up playing Bob in the championship game. He ended up having 28 on me, but me and Tony had 27 apiece. We only had like 63 points. So Tony had 27, I had 27, and Bob had 28. So he didn't have his second counterpart either because it was almost like Danny in the Miracles, Bob in the Miracles. So
I wouldn't want to be on the same team with you and Tony. Wouldn't have got no shots. No shots. In a 24-minute game, and y'all putting up almost 30 apiece. No shots.
And that's the thing. That's the thing about it. And like I said, the players that we had, they knew their roles. And my brothers on that team too, they knew their roles. They played defense, got the rebound. They looked for us because we was a running team.
Right.
I've got on. We a running team. Why I want to sit down and walk the ball down the court? Ain't nobody gonna get no shots. So since only 2 people gonna get the shots, let's run it down and get them.
I hear you.
And since you was the fastest, you was gonna get the shots first.
I'm gonna get it, 94 feet, exactly. You know, like I said, I'm trying to make sure Tony don't beat me. He makes sure I don't beat him.
Right.
Right.
All right. Well, Ivan. I met Ivan when I was 12 or 13, and he moved just a couple blocks away from me, and we became teammates. I know your story, but let everybody know who doesn't know your story, how the Iceman came into effect. You know, tell us about your playground.
It came down on Lincoln Street, Lincoln and Louisa. There's 11 of us in our family. And so we all played sports. It wasn't just basketball. We played baseball. We stayed across the street from the park. We played football. We boxed, and we played basketball. We had a rim on the garage in the backyard. And me and my older brother, Wayne, may he rest in peace, and my sister, Becky, they're the one that took me out there and drilled me. We was drilling each other. I mean, we ran track. We did it all. And this was late 60s, back in the Blaine Sumner days. And like you said, I made the team my 4th grade year at Blaine Sumner. And like I said last time, my biggest thrill at first was watching the older guys play at Blaine Sumner. Stan Adams, Jeff Scott, and I had a brand new ball. As long as they played with my ball, I was cool. I didn't, I was happy for that, And like you said, I was at Blaine Sumner, and like you said, we had to go up against DJ, David Doherty. And they was big as they are now in 8th grade. So,
right.
We didn't stand a chance. We were just there. As long as, we scored a couple of points, but 4th, 5th grade year, 6th grade, I played at Blaine Summer. And then I went to Tree Wind for a semester. Tree Wind was 7th and 8th back then. And then we moved that December out to the Pearson with Boo and them. And you remember I tried out for lightweight at Tree Wind. They said I was too tall. So I went to Sterling and got measured again and made the lightweight team because Tree Wind already had the heavyweight team. I don't know how they did it. I'm like,
we were happy. We were happy that that you made lightweights because you took somebody's spot right off the bat. I don't think you came right at the beginning, but you took somebody's spot, and then we went on the roll and got to the city tournament. I remember that. But you were very tall.
Exciting thing.
You were very tall on the lightweights. I do remember that.
I scrunched down a little bit, man. I said, I got to make this lightweight team. I ain't ready for the big boys. But yeah, that's basically, like I said, my brothers and them drilled me, man, and we played. My mom has to drag us in the house. Nowadays, you got to drag the kids to go out of the house.
Yeah.
We weren't ready to come in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we played. Boo could tell you out there in the Pearson Hills when I moved out there, it was one court, half court.
Yeah.
In a little lake and pond down a steep hill. And you didn't want that ball to go down there because you wasn't getting it back.
See, I
remember you did not want to go near, if that ball went down that hill, you had to go get it quick. You had to dive before it reached that creek because there was a kid from our neighborhood that had drowned in that creek. Remember that, Ivan?
It had
Ricky
trees
Day,
and roots all around.
Ricky
You didn't know
Day's
what was
younger
underneath.
brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You had to go get your ball before it went in that creek. If it went in that creek, we knew that there was either undercurrent or garbage down there that could pull you down, and that happened to one of our friends' younger brother. If I'm not mistaken, do you remember that, Ivan?
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
My buddy, that was a sad day.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that's why, like I said, that's where I got my start and moved from Sterling and then on up, you know. And I know they was calling me a traitor at Tree Wind because I went to Sterling. I was like, man, we moved. I mean, you know, ain't nothing I can do, you know.
Right.
But that was a big deal playing in the city tournament, man.
Yeah.
Man.
I'll never forget it.
Deal, you know.
Me, you, Bobby Anderson, Alfie Kilgus, Rich Bradley, Dan Dirtle,
Ron and Don Jones,
Kurt Magnuson, Mark Misselhorn. I remember all them dudes, man. You know, when I do these shows, we always got to go back to grade school. You got to go back to grade school because there was some good times and the battles were real. So you guys, I mean, I graduated a year before you in 78, but you guys were the graduating 79. Tony, you and Al were the cream of the crop down there at Tree Wind, correct?
Right.
Okay. Ivan was the man at Sterling. Steve Harvey was the man at Lincoln. Bob Buford was the man at Blaine Sumner, correct?
Correct.
And Lamont Hanson was doing business over there at Louts. All right. So 6 of you guys were one of the top players, if not the top players, coming out of 1979 grade school ranks, getting ready to go into high school. Okay. Now, we all know this, that if you go to the school, what I call the dead presidents, if you go to Roosevelt, if you go to Lincoln, if you go to Woodrow Wilson, Thomas Jefferson, Calvin Coolidge, you were more than likely going to Richwoods, Manual, Central, or Woodruff. You were not going to Bergen or Spalding. The Saints, if you went to the Saints, St. Mark's, St. Thomas, St. Vincent, or Holy Family, more likely you were going to Bergen or Spalding. So I'm just segueing into the story here. Here you guys are the top 8th graders coming out. And all of a sudden, there's a chance that you might go to Bergen. So I'm going to put the ball in your court right now and let you guys tell the story how you guys were recruited to go to Bergen.
You want me to go first, Ivan, or you want to
go? I just got a call from Greg Sargent, and he named off everybody. We all heard about each other, knew about each other.
Greg Sargent was the coach at Louts.
Yes. And he just came to my house, talked to my mom and said, you know, I got these guys here. We want to recruit them to go to Bergen. You know, and I'm like, you know, Bergen, never really paid no attention to Bergen, or even though the coach lived right around the corner from us, Rulie Keeling, and he started coming by, picking us up every day, taking us to open gym, you know, feeding us. You know, after a while, we felt like some stars. I was thinking, man, you know, I'm kind of digging this, you know. And the biggest thing for me, you know, we had one radio station that came on Sunday night. Tony Brohan, the tall, tan magic man.
Yep.
And he had us, you know, we had the cassette player, so we recorded it every night. And he mentioned our name.
Yep.
And I recorded it.
Yep.
You know, took it to Sterling School. And I mean, every 8th grade, and played it in front of all of them. And man, I felt like I had made it already. Right? I'm still in 8th grade, you know.
What'd they say on the radio station?
They just mentioned us as far as being the top 8th graders, you know, in the city.
Coach Sargent. All that came through Coach Sargent. That was his boy.
Yeah, I know.
That was through Coach Sargent. Yeah.
I just
Well,
thought that was
let me
pretty
back
cool.
up here for a second. Gregory Sargent was the boys lightweight and heavyweight coach, and the girls coach and track coach at Laux Grade School.
Right.
Very energetic brother, handsome, charismatic, all the above. I remember playing against him, and I never had a black teacher. Right? My kindergarten teacher in Chicago before I moved to Peoria was the first black teacher I had. I never had one again. So I remember when I was at Sterling, I remember Gregory Sargent, good looking brother, suave, had nice clothes and everything. And the kids worshiped him. So and he had a lot of persuasive skills. So I could see what you're saying, that he came to you to get, try to get you to Bergen, that it sounded like the best thing going.
Oh, it did. I mean, there was no question. We were going to Bergen.
Yep.
We were going. I mean, we visited the school. Our parents.
Yeah.
My grandmother even went. She was 90 years old, and she came up to the school with us.
Yeah.
And we scrimmaged, and they fed us, and we thought we were on our way. He threw the game plan down. You guys are freshmen. You're coming in. You're playing.
Yep.
Don't worry about it. We have been playing all summer together. An open gym.
Yeah.
So
what was the open gym like at Bergen?
Bergen, yeah.
What was it like?
We were ready.
Fast pace, something different that they didn't see. Fast pace, and picking you up 94 feet. Ain't no coming back because I'm tired and we played all summer. I mean, we played all regular season. We sitting out the summer. No. Because we try to outdo each other, and plus the guys that actually came in to basically supposed to come and see us. I mean, play with us, but wanted to just watch us. Wanted to watch us more than play. Yeah.
And like some of them guys from Bergen, they weren't too happy that we was walking in the gym like that.
No.
So
I would imagine.
They was trying to give it to us, and we was trying to give it right back.
Whoa, that's junction. Yep.
Yeah. First time ever been somebody said a pick on me that hard. I'm thinking I said, man, that's illegal.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you in high school now.
So when you guys went to the open gyms, did he put all of y'all on the same team, or did he have you mixed in with the players from the Saints? What I mean? The Saints, St. Mark, St. Thomas, St. Phil's.
Oh, I think we all played together.
We played together because he wanted us to show them, because remember, they were upper class. Yeah. He wanted us to show them that, hey, these brothers can play and they ready right now to come take your position. And
well, that next year, that team went to the state championship.
I was just gonna say that. Was it that one Gillis?
Tom Gillis was all state guard. Yes.
Yeah.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
And they had a 6'7" center, Scott McKay.
Scott McKay. Yep. That's when we was like, man, with this gonna be good, man, because remember, this is Class A.
Right.
Hey, this ain't double A. We gonna get our strength, and we're gonna take our coach did say one thing at the beginning. He said we take our lumps early because we're in the mid-state 10. We're gonna take our lumps early from being as freshmen and stuff. When we playing against all Emmanuel, Woodruff, Richwoods, and all that kind of stuff, we're gonna take our lumps. And we still like, what are you talking about lumps? We finna get some lumps out.
Right.
Yeah, for real.
Right.
We know how. Look,
that freshman year, we might not have played.
Go ahead.
That freshman year, we might not have played that much, but when we all were sophomores at Manual, Central, we all started varsity.
Started.
So, now, if we started at Central and Manual, what do you think we was going to do there?
Yeah.
Those were, we were on our way, man. And, like you said, we felt like straight celebrities.
Yeah.
Getting picked up every day and eating and, whining and dining. And then all of a sudden.
Was it Rudy that would do some of the whining? And you guys weren't whining, but you were dining. And was it Rudy that was joining in,
No.
or was just Sergeant that was
It was just
facilitating?
No,
It was just Sergeant, because I don't think Rudy wanted to get too involved with us.
no, what happened was Sergeant would pick us up. We meet Rudy at Bergen.
Yeah.
Rudy at Bergen. And he started giving us a lowdown of how this is gonna run the next few years. Then we would leave him after we get done practicing, because he was at the practices.
I know he was there.
And then go with Coach Sargent, and Coach Sargent would bring us all back and do everything else. So.
Yep.
Where did he take you guys to eat? Because if I remember at that time, man, Steak and Shake was the end all be all of restaurants to go to, and Shakey's and
anywhere we wanted
McDonald's. Anywhere you wanted to go.
Anywhere we wanted to go. Told us to get stuff for our family members.
Yeah.
All 6 of you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like you said, we didn't know what was going on, and we just like, man, this guy really wants us to come play for Bergen. If he's doing all this, we might as well go,
And you got hey Boo, you gotta realize now, remember, back in those days, 4 coaches that we know of, that we knew at that time. Two in grade school, two in grade school, 2 in high school. Rudy Keeley and Porky Brooks.
Yeah.
Below then, it was Wayne McClain, Blaine Sumner, and Coach Sargent. For Coach Sargent to develop, come up with that idea of getting all the best players to come and getting our mom and dads to buy in. Remember, I didn't know this guy. We didn't play Laux. We didn't play Laux. I don't know nothing about this dude. My mom,
we played against Laux. Me and Boo can tell you about it,
Yeah, see, we didn't know nothing. We know nothing about him, And next thing I know, he's coming to my mom and dad. He talked to them before he talked to me. They bought in, and then they're like, "Hey, you're gonna go with him because he got some players for you." I'm like, I'm looking outside. That's Ian, Steve, Lamont. I'm like, oh yeah, and Buford. Oh yeah, let's go.
Like, come on.
I still don't know the idea or the principle behind this, because I see him. I'm thinking it's a summer league. We gonna get together or something, AAU or nothing like that, because we ain't know nothing about nothing like that. I'm thinking like back in the day, the YBA and stuff like that. We're gonna get together. We're gonna do something.
Yeah.
It's that Sunday church league or something. I didn't know. And then he started getting down and letting us know. And when he took us there that first day, I still remember that Rudy Keeling was there. And that shocked me, him being at Bergen, because I wasn't really thinking about all the stuff that was going on and stuff. I didn't know that we in 8th grade. I didn't think these people even knew us, but when it's a recruiting war, when you can recruit, especially in the Catholic League, not in the public,
Right.
they did what they thought was best, and then again, I'm not drawing no race lines or anything like that. They did what was good for them and some of these young African Americans that could have came out there, going to a Catholic school, and we watching out, being accountable for each other, not just being accountable for ourselves, for each other.
So you were sold, Al. You were sold on going to Bergen.
Oh yeah, that was wrapped up. When I saw Ivan and all them out there and stuff, we had out, and then that first day we talked about it. He didn't have to give us nothing. We was all going there because we had seen. I'm glad this brothers was on the same page as I was. They looking at the next 4 years, not next year.
Right.
Man, we can win all the way, man. Then we talking about Duke, North Carolina. There's time. These teams we come to Syracuse. We weren't talking about Western Illinois, Bradley, Southern Illinois, Lamar, all that kind of. We weren't thinking about that. We was too big for them. We was too big for them. No, we was too big for them. No.
We said we all averaging 20-something in grade school. What do you think we're going to do at Bergen?
Right.
We're going to run right through them.
Right.
And we did. We went to scrimmage.
Right.
They couldn't believe it. We put it on them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys are all set to go to Bergen. And then the last day of school, June the 4th, 1979, Gregory Sargent gets fired by District 150 because they catch wind of him trying to recruit public league kids for a parochial school. You know, I read the transcripts of things, and they don't mention which parochial school that it was, but it had to be one or two, Spalding or Bergen. So he gets fired early that day. Later that evening, 3 men in stocking caps come to his apartment, Greenbrier Apartments, shoot him in the back of the head, rob him, and leave him for dead. What did you guys think the next day when you heard, or whenever you heard, about Gregory Sargent being taken out? He did not die instantly. No, he lived 2 days, long enough to finger his assailants. He was able to tell authorities who had did him in. 2 days later, he fell into a coma and died. So tell me what you guys felt when you heard that he had been.
I mean, for me, out. I was scared to death. We were.
How did you find out about it, Ivan?
I got a phone. My mom got a phone call, and you know, she was like, you know, get down here. That, you know, that guy, that sergeant guy, somebody shot him, and blah blah blah. And you know, when's the last time you've been at his house? Because we were over his house every day. We went to his apartment and ate.
Wow.
Then he took us home.
What was his apartment like?
Nice apartment. He had. It was plus. He had
State
the music.
Of the art, new stuff.
Yeah.
State of the art, new stuff that you see in older people home with big money. Not nobody like him, you know. And that's why I told him, Coach Sargent, I said, I want to be just like you. I want to become a teacher and a coach. I'm not knowing at that time, teachers probably was only making what, $20,000 a year, 28, less than $30,000 a year, you know. And then a coach, you know, I'm thinking like, I don't know how much coaches make, but I see on TV those coaches, he ain't nothing like him. I'm thinking he's getting paid like college coaches getting paid. He ain't getting paid that, you know what I'm saying? So I was like,
we had no idea how much teachers and coaches was making, but I said, if he's making this much, that might be the way to go.
Yep. When he take us out to eat, now remember, he's taking about 6 people to eat. He had one pocket and pull out his wad, got a rubber band around it, and look at us and laugh and put it back in his pocket. So I'm thinking he playing like he ain't finna buy us nothing. He go in his other pocket, pull out another wad, and he said, you know, get what you want to eat and get your family something to eat. And I'm like, I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I want to be just like you. That's what I want to do. Just be just like that. Be a coach, you know, and a teacher. And he's like, you get a chance to do that. You get a chance to do that. But in between time, like Ivan was telling you, when I found out that he had died, my dad had came up to him because my dad also, like I said, he worked at Caterpillar 30-something years, but also he raised me. He was in the family in my home all the way till I got to college. My daddy was in the streets too, you know, so I don't know if he knew about Gregory Sargent, but when he had heard about it, he had pulled me aside and he had asked me about, did I really know what was going on with Coach Sargent and all this kind of stuff? And I'm asking my dad, what are you talking about? I said, I don't know about what. I said, I know that he's a coach because you let me go with him and be with him. He said, my dad said, well, I didn't even know him. He came here like you knew him. I said, Pop, we ain't never played lax. I don't know this guy. So he's like, well, I'm gonna let you know that he was murdered. And I thought he was playing. I said, yeah, right. Because like somebody like him, who want to murder him? Because like I said, I didn't know that second side of him or that dark side of him. All I knew was about this giving man that was caring, that was trying to do something for inner city youth.
Right.
And especially African-American males. He was trying to give us, like they say, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give you a chance to see what you're going to do with that chance. That's what he did. And when I found out about all that, Then I started making phone calls to Ivan. Started making phone calls to Tony. We was like, man, we ain't finna go outside, man, because we taking, excuse me.
I'm scared of
Like I said, I'm not racist by anything. I thought it had something to do with the Aryan Brotherhood, the KKK. They gonna come get us because they want Bergen to stay this way. This is how they want Bergen to be. We don't mind a couple of y'all coming because my sons or daughters or whatever can play with you guys. You're not going to come over and then shine and take it all away from them, and we are paying for them. You guys are basically getting a scholarship.
Yeah.
Right. That's not going to happen. So
Right.
I was kind of scared, kind of leery. We were standing in the house, calling each other, standing in the house, and we ain't playing basketball.
I didn't leave the house for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're not playing basketball now. They after us.
I'm sorry for laughing.
People were getting mad.
They after us. Yeah.
They were getting mad because we were going to Bergen. There was a lot of people that were upset.
Yep. And my dad had said that.
I was in 8th grade, and this guy gets killed, and we were just there a couple of days, early. I mean, just think if we were there, what would, we don't know what would happen.
And the day they pronounced him dead on the 8th, that Friday, we were supposed to get with him that Saturday. And like I said, I said all those days he was coming to pick us up. This just I'm saying to myself. I said he came to pick us up, and on that day that he picked us up, did those guys give us a chance to say, hey, I'm not going to kill any kids, or that's too many kids, man. I'm not going to deal with that. We'll get him another day. Because we was with him almost that whole week.
Yeah.
So it was like, did they give us a break? This was just a whim, or what it is? I mean, you can read anything you want into it, but remember, we 13 and 14 years old. We don't know. We don't know what's going on. All we know is basketball.
Who's to say how long they had been watching him? Wait for him to come home without us.
Yeah.
We don't know. When I say we were there all the time, we were there all the time. Every time we got through playing, we went and got something to eat. We went back to his house and we turned the music on and drank Kool-Aid and ate McDonald's, whatever we want.
Yeah, and sit back. Then he would drop me and Tony off last. He would take Ivan and them because he'd take everybody else home and stuff. Then he would take me and Tony home last because we lived right across the street from each other. And then he lived right up there in those golf view apartment, Briarwood, whatever it was, Greenbrier. And if you knew what Greenbrier looked like when they first built that up there, it was all strictly all whites, no blacks up there and stuff, and for him to be up there at that age and the stuff that he had and how it was lit up, I'm thinking this guy's rich,
Yeah.
Bring me and Tony home and he'll go in his pocket and he's like, here's some money, keep this up under your hat. Here's some money, I ain't supposed to be doing this for you guys. And I sit there and be like, I'm thinking it's okay to take money from, it's the coach. It's okay. And it's like, I never knew until later that was inappropriate and those are things you're not supposed to do. And, and then like I said, some of those boosters, he even told me that. Some of the boosters told me to make sure we take care of you guys. Me not knowing, no, is he now I look back at hindsight, like, is he lying because he held it money in his pocket, he's using it as a cover and stuff like that, and one thing about it, whatever his business was, that dark side of him, we never once saw it. Nobody ran up on him, nobody at his house begging for dope or anything like that, nothing. He
never had a clue.
He kept us safe.
He didn't drink in front of us. He didn't smoke in front of us. Nothing.
I didn't even know if he had a wife or a girlfriend or if he was gay or straight. I don't know because I've never seen nobody else with him but him.
Yep.
Wow.
But I don't care what you say. That was the most stressful 2 weeks after that because I was scared. Because a lot of people didn't want us to go there. And this guy gets shot and they didn't know why at first. What are we supposed to think?
Well,
we all up at with our families and stuff. And, I was like, man, And then that happens.
And then we all go to our separate schools, and then we go play Bergen, see Coach Keeling. After we didn't basically gave him a formal commitment, and we got to go see Coach Keeling, but he kept himself, like I said, he stayed neutral on it, and he kept himself clean, but he was there every day when we was there. Every time we went to Bergen, Coach Keeling was already there.
Yeah.
Already there.
Well,
Just
fellas,
involved in picking us up and dropping us off, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to be.
it is not illegal for parochial schools to recruit. It is to recruit grade school age kids. It is illegal for them to recruit high school age kids that are already playing. So Rudy didn't do anything illegal. And when you think about Rudy, and I knew Rudy, he did what every coach would do if they could, was to try to get the best ball players that they could to come play for them, you know?
Yeah.
And he had Gregory Sargent facilitate that for him. And I remember Gregory Sargent very well. When I was an 8th grader at Sterling, he put a boxing one on me, and I never forgot it. He took the scoring pacifier out of my mouth. And
Who
he
does
always
that?
used to,
Who does that? That has to be a top coach.
Dude, he smacked me dead in my face.
Do.
I had never experienced that before.
Right.
I went from averaging, I don't know, about 18 a game, and I had 4 that game.
Yeah.
And I never forgot it, but I remember this guy, the kids worshiped him. They loved him. And then the things I read about him, people loved this man. And he almost Robin Hood type of qualities of giving to people that didn't have much. He ended up talking to my father about me possibly going to Washington gifted, because I had, I was a B student, but I was a grade ahead than I was supposed to be. So I knew of Gregory Sargent, and I admired him because he was, man, I remember that black leather coat that he had, that Carlito's Way coat that he had. And he had the beard, and he had the afro.
He had the fro.
Smooth, and the kids
nice,
followed
smooth,
him.
nice looking guy, man. 26 years old. Yes. Nice
exactly.
Guy. Young guy.
Followed him. The kids followed him like a Pied Piper.
He adopted us.
So I was a freshman at Richwoods. When I heard that he had got killed, I was like, oh man, what happened? And I didn't know you guys' story until I became an adult and we were talking. But I do remember that they called him a reputed drug dealer in the newspapers. And I was like, wow, I didn't know anything about it, but we were kids. We were all the same age. We were naive. We didn't know. And like you guys said, that you guys were probably at his apartment earlier that day and could have been in harm's way, but you guys were kids, and he was trying to give you guys a better chance to go to a fine parochial school like Bergen, and maybe get, quote unquote, a better education. I don't know. But he wanted to help people, and I respect him for that. That dark side of him, that's on him. And he was in the game, and he got caught up in the game and lost his life,
Yeah, I look at this. I'm going to talk about the dark side just a little bit. When they call you a reputed drug dealer or Scarface type of person, how the newspaper put him, I'm not going to put him in that type of category, because there's no way District 150 wouldn't have found out about that. There's no way the mayor wouldn't have found out about that and let him be around those kids like that. There's no way. It's like they want to blow things out of proportion when it gets seeing a nice young African American young man doing well for himself and trying to give a rope to help somebody else too, some young African Americans too. Now, don't get me wrong, he wasn't a racist. We weren't racist and stuff. We love playing with these guys and stuff. All of us getting together and play, because like I said, we took those guys in. They took us in. We took them in from the first day. I mean, first it was separated when we got there, because they like, well, who are these little, because you got Ivan and you got Lamont and that, they tall and stuff, and they hear me and Steve, little speedsters. Then you got Tony, Machine Gun Kelly here for this, nothing, and we go there and we put on a show for them, and there's no way that you're not gonna tell me if you gonna put a name on him like that Peoria didn't know about him, and District 150 didn't know about him, the mayor didn't know about him. Something went wrong. There's no way that they're gonna let him be around us kids, or even the schools. That's you putting the schools in danger, not just him, not just us. You're putting the whole schools in danger, because you know how people are when they get on them drugs. They don't care where they at or who they kill or who they hurt. So I'm not that reputed and all that kind of stuff. You know, when I started reading all that garbage, man, I was like, you know what? No, reputed means he's on this 24/7. That's what I think reputed. 24/7. He didn't do that. He was a school teacher. He was a coach.
Never been arrested. Never went to jail. Never been arrested, investigated, or nothing.
Nothing.
And they wouldn't have known about it if, like you say, if he hadn't have got shot and identified his shooters, they would have never known.
Never been caught today.
They'd have never known.
There was nothing. Just like you said, if you read the story on those guys, they all told on each other and what really happened, because they didn't know why he got shot. When the first all that stuff happened, they didn't know why. They didn't know nothing about no drugs and nothing like that when he back home. They didn't know nothing until he came out and told them what happened. Nothing.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They would have never known.
So no, he not in my eye, he was a great teacher, great motivator, excellent coach, but got caught up. And got caught up, he got caught up the ultimate way, through death. There's a lot of us that done the same, doing some things like that, and done some things like that came out the hole and bettered themselves. That's including me. Better myself, and I'm doing much better and stuff, you know, because I learned. And I didn't learn, it didn't take the ultimate for me to learn and for me to wake up. But I could have went that way. Any of us could have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with all these skeletons in their closet. That's why I go to some of these basketball camps. I go to some of these churches. I go to some, I spoke at ICC. I even spoke about Bradley, about my incident and stuff like that, because coaches want to hear about players and downfalls and recapture yourself. These are the type of stories, guys. Remember, this happens at every school, every level, grade school, high school, college, NBA. That you it happens at every level. It's how you recover. If your enemies let you recover, not through death. You know, that's why I wrote the other day on that thing, winning at all costs, maybe through death. That it's not right, but those are things, those are reality things that you have to really see and open up your eyes to tell these youngsters nowadays, because these youngsters nowadays are not hearing it when it comes to sports and violence, because they think it goes together, hand in hand, like rap and violence. That's not it. That's not it. And not to get off the subject, but we live that, what they're going through right now today, we lived that life at 13, 14-year-old. We didn't even know nothing about it. We throw it in the mix. We're in the newspaper, just like the article you sent me today, boo. I never even seen that article. That article was talking about us. They didn't put no names with it.
Right.
Talking about us.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Stevie Wonder could have read that and knew who they was talking about. Come on.
If you were in Peoria in 78, 79, you knew who they were talking about.
You're right. And then you look at the other echelon of it at Spalding. You only sent two of them over there. You only Kenny Drummond and Alfonso Wright. So that's okay. Don't send no more. This 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. Don't. That's your quota. That's what we're gonna deal with.
Well, you know, I've talked to you guys about this when I learned the story 4 years ago, and I said, man, six of y'all from the dead presidents. You know what I mean by the dead presidents from Yeah, Lincoln, Franklin, and whatever, dead president schools, going to Bergen. There's no way that would have worked. There's no way. There's no way. Now, maybe if it maybe 2 or 3, if you could have smoothed that over, that might have worked. But 6,
Yeah.
Spalding did it the right way. They had 2, right?
And one
Not at the same
different
time.
year, not the same time. Sent one year and got the other one the next year. Right, exactly.
Right. So 6 of y'all at Bergen. Oh Lord,
Hey. I'm telling you, it was signed, sealed, delivered.
We was done. We was done.
Wow.
And then may Tony Gulley rest in peace. That's the first thing Tony said, you know, and Tony probably was probably one had more money than all of us because his mom and dad both owned restaurants, Gulley's Barbecue, dad owned a barbecue place, and was a race car driver. Tony like, you know what? He said, even if they don't play, if we can play together like that, because Tony saw may rest in peace, he saw the big picture of everything. Tony didn't like to see the small picture. He always liked to see the big picture, and the big picture was always Duke, Syracuse, North Carolina, Georgetown. You know, we gonna be on TV every day. That's how we thought. You know, we're gonna be on TV every day. That's what we wanted. Because our girls in grade school, even at teen, K through 6th grade, we were always sold out. Tree Wind, sold out. You know, Manual. Come on now, Manual Central. All our games sold out. Open up the other balconies. You know, turning people away. Come on. Yeah.
Well, I wanted a lot of people to hear this story. The story, again, is fascinating to me. But then also, if you look at, this will support everything that you guys just said, is that if you look at the success that you guys had outside of Bergen, you guys didn't go to Bergen and it was shot down, but I say literally, with Gregory Sargent being murdered. Al, you and Tony and Bob Buford went on to Manual. You guys went on to the state tournament as juniors, okay? Yes. Made all area at different levels, but you guys went to the state tournament. You went to state your junior year. Ivan, you, Steve Harvey, and Lamont Hanson went all the way to the state title game, went to state your senior year. Yes. So that supports the magnitude of the players that you guys were. And that's why Rudy Keelan wanted you. And any coach would want the Super Six. And that's why I wrote about it. I love the story. And everybody needs to know about it. Yes. To Rudy Keelan, who passed away 6-7 years ago, rest in peace to that brother, you know? Yeah. To Tony Gulley, who I remember very well, battling him in high school. He was a bad boy. Rest in peace to Tony Gulley. To Gregory Sargent, I remember him very well. And I'm not going to denigrate the brother. Rest in peace to him. And he tried to do good things, and people worshiped him. I talked to so many people that went to Louts. They loved that man. Yeah. And he put in time. I even talked to a teacher who said that he put in extra time with those kids. Not only was he coaching basketball, he was coaching softball and track, and he spent time with those kids. Yes. So, you know, I ain't mad at you, brother. So that's all I have to say about the story, but it's fascinating to me, and I'm glad that you guys were able to tell it. I was hoping that Steve would come on. Steve's so charismatic and right. And fun to be on with, man. Steve, where you at? Come on, point guard, Steve. So Steve wasn't able to come on, but I'm glad that you gentlemen were able to be here this evening. I got to look at some of the questions I have for you. So you guys go ahead, say what you got to say, and let me take a look at some of the questions I have for you. Okay. Yeah,
like you said, we all got our awards as we was coming up, especially our junior and senior years, that we got the real awards with a chance to go down state. But I was thinking my junior year when I had to play against Doug Altenberger. Doug, you you know, and then you got the Jackson boys, you know, and all that, you know, Snodgrass and all them boys. It was a tough sledding. Remember, we ranked number 4 in the conference, and we ended up having to go represent us downstate. When Washington won the conference, and Boo, you don't look so happy. Central's right
there. No, man. I never forget that bad night in the field house. Never forget it. So go ahead.
Yeah, that was like, man, when we played Joe at the field house, I said to myself, this gonna be a tough game. Next thing I seen, we up by 10, we up by 20. Then we get
there you go, Ivan. There you go. There you go.
It shocked me. I was like, you know what? And my first thing I'm thinking, we win the state now. We win the state. We winning. Yep. We coming back with something, boy. And we go to the state, and we get beat by a tip in with 1 second left. And my last 2 years of high school that I played, my junior year and my senior year, both teams that beat us got second in the state, and they both had a chance to win it. Mendel had a chance to win it. Central had a chance to win it.
Right on.
And, here it is, especially my senior year. I always got to tell people about it because once you win the ultimate one, nobody remembers what happened, who got second or down the line, stuff like that. We beat Central 2 out of 3. We beat them at Central. Then we beat them
there you go, Ivan.
then here we go. Yeah, then we gotta go back. Instead of playing we should have played. We should have played that at the field house again, not at Central on a neutral site.
Right.
Central and stuff. And I see something that I've never actually physically seen by a person to transform from one quarter to the next quarter, and then a newspaper article, the hands of stone. I had to give it to the brother. And with Steve orchestrated and Bush orchestrated, I'm so proud of you guys and that you represented Central and you represented Peoria very well and the state of Illinois. The stuff that y'all did in those 5 games.
Yep.
Well, I mean, those are, as they say, instant classics. You can watch them over and over and over, boy. Yeah.
Right.
They always said whoever won that between us and the regional was going to win state.
Yep.
You know, we just came up short.
Right.
But those were the good old days, man.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it. Y'all made us tough. Y'all made us tough.
Yeah.
We knew we had to come with
it. The gentleman, Robert Lawson, who is very passionate about Peoria area basketball.
Reverend Rob.
That's my brother-in-law.
Yes.
Yeah, Reverend Rob.
Man, he's on top of things and he speak on it. And he says, let them know, meaning you guys and Steve, let them know that I am a great fan of all of them and the late, great Tony Gulley. He goes, ask them, how did they prepare competing against each other before the game? And ask my guy, Ivan, what game plan did he use for Tony Gulley?
It wasn't no game plan for Tony Gulley.
Let him get his.
Yeah, let him get his. You know, if he got 28, I had to get 30. You know? I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous, playing against because I was like, these guys are fast, they're athletes. We just got to be on our game and play basic basketball and try to slow them down. And that's what we did, But I was, that first quarter, man, I was nervous.
Yeah.
It took a while to unravel them nerves,
Yeah. And for me, getting ready for Central, I kind of zoned out because I'm thinking we better than anybody anyway. We're too arrogant, too big. What we did to them last year ain't gonna compare what we're gonna do to them this year. Boom! Yeah. Ivan had something totally different. He had something in that bag of tricks. Cause just like Tony Gulley fouled out, Tony Weisinger fouled out. No, neither one of them no factor. They X'd each other out, And me and Steve kind of X'd each other out and stuff like that.
13.
Yep.
I said, we was down 13. I said, Steve, I ain't letting this go. I said, just bring the ball over half court and give it to me. If we're gonna lose it, I'm gonna lose it.
Now remember, we up by 13. Tony Gulley ain't got number 4 points. Tony got 4 points. So when Tony decided to wake up, It's gonna go from 13 to probably a double that to 26. Because remember, he ain't got his average. He averaging 18. That never materialized. He got 6 the whole game. Tony Weisinger, 6 the whole game. Ivan Stone made the difference, and Steve Harvey made the difference. Because whatever Ivan got, that came from Steve, and as us point guards say, that's 2 points for us. That's 2 points for us.
Yeah.
Well, look here, Brother Fred McAfee, man, we go back to JFL football. Here's his question. He said, yes, he was. You all had accomplished basketball careers. What advice would you give your younger self? And is there anything you would change about the way you approach the game? That's a good question that he's asking. If you could go back and talk to Al Alexander at 14, Ivan Stone at 14. That is a great question.
I'm gonna answer first, Ivan. Let me answer this first, Ivan, real quick. And mine is gonna be a real quick one. When I won the championship in the 8th grade, and knowing what I went through with Gregory Sargent, I would have never ever did what I did. I started smoking and drinking, and in the 8th grade with the manual players, manual guys. I'm not gonna mention no names because I don't want to get nobody in trouble because they asked me the question about me. I would have never started using drugs and drinking alcohol at that age. And I tell any youngster, do not put anything in your system that's not prescribed by a doctor. The enhancement, the other stuff that you think is going to help you, all that's doing is setting you back. And in your mind, here you are, you're doing it at 13 years old. Here it is, you 18, 19, and 20 years old. Guess where your mind is stuck at? 13-year-old. That's where your mind's stuck at. Now, you got to have this drug or this alcohol to play against these certain people. And when you don't have it, you're panicking. You don't know where to go or what to do. And I'll tell you, Central Game showed it.
Wow.
Central Game showed it.
I would tell this youngster or young me to apply yourself 100% more than you did in the classroom. Because you already got the talent. You already know where you can go. But without those grades and being lazy, you know, not running and lifting weights and practicing, you're not going to go nowhere.
Yes.
Especially if you can't get it in the classroom. You know.
Yeah.
Get them grades. Because this is going to pay off in the long run.
Hey, yes, sir. You said a mouthful. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
And even if you do make it, you got to know how to manage your money and things. But if you ain't applied yourself in school, you lost. You're going to lose a lot of money.
Yes, definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
Well, my brother, Donald Jackson Jr., I call him my confidant. He's the one that slapped me into shape when I get out of shape. He says, how did your teams fare against Richwoods, who had a pretty good team then? Everybody talks a lot about Richwoods manual. So I think he's getting that. How'd you guys fare against Richwoods? Because Richwoods was no day at the beach, and Richwoods was very formidable.
Okay, my junior year, you already know what Altenberg and them did. So we ain't talk about the Altenberger era. Let's talk about my senior year with Junior Crane, Shotgun, Jesse Jordan, and the magnificent Pat Pollard. You know,
Malcolm McGee, my boy,
and Malcolm McGee. Guess what? Who won the conference our senior year? Manual. What was our record? 17-1. Who beat us? Richwoods. Where at? Manual. That's how them boys was. And on that all-conference team, didn't they have, what, 2 or 3? Well, 2 of them on there, Jesse and Pat Pollard as juniors?
I think maybe Steve Snodgrass as well, right?
Yeah.
And then I know Junior Crane, he's only a sophomore, so he made like second team or third team too. So many people as on that team as we did, 3-3 on first, and them youngsters, they was real. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yep.
Ivan, you got props for Richwoods?
Oh yeah. Couldn't stop Altenberger. Especially with Malcolm McGee setting the massive picks. I mean, you couldn't.
Oh man.
Altenberger was like a machine. I mean, you just couldn't stop him. And we beat him down in the regional, and then end up beating Doug Lee and them in double overtime. The field house.
Yeah.
Before we got blown out. But you know, that's the difference.
Hey, when they going for the scoring championship back then?
Yeah.
It's going for the scoring championship. And we talking about 20 and 30 points. These brothers talking about 50.
Yeah, 53 and 55.
Well, I had them on the show a couple weeks ago, and they talked about that last game of the regular season in which Doug Altenberger needed 53 points in order to surpass Doug Lee, and against Pekin at Richwoods, Altenberger dropped 55 points with Doug Lee sitting in the stands. And Doug Lee told me on the side that, man, he was mad as hell about that. He said that the Journal Star writer, Bob Levitt, was running down out the stands, going over to the assistant coach at Richwoods, telling him, hey, he needs 11 more points. He needs 8 more points. He needs 6 more points. So, yeah, Doug Lee was not happy that Altenberger surpassed him for the conference scoring title. So that was a good show that we had. But let's see.
And Mark, you remember Mark Cook? Mark Cook was tough at Richwoods.
Oh man, Mark. Yeah.
Mark Cook, man, I hated guarding him. Mark Cook.
Well, you know what?
Tough.
I gotta, we from the same era. And, me and Ivan played together, and I played against Al and Manuel. But man, Woodruff was no day at the beach with the Jackson boys.
And Steve Turner. Turner.
Derek Massey, Steve Turner.
Yeah.
You went over to Pekin and that big gym, the big, beautiful, they had the best gym around. They used to pack their gym with Benassi and
Tap Horns.
The Bacus, and everybody else had Randy Bushman, who could jump, if you remember him. Ivan.
Randy.
And then East Peoria, you had Scott Bacu that was doing his thing, but
Scott
he put up a little bit of a fight. Scott Slocum, I'm sorry.
Yep.
And then Bergen, of course, with Gillis and McCabe. They took third that year in 1980 and had some good players. Who else are we leaving out? Limestone. Jose Weber, remember that name?
Yep.
Jose
Mike
Weber.
Dunn.
And then Mike Dunn too. I was just gonna say Mike Dunn. They still have Mike Dunn.
Yeah.
Who am I leaving out? Washington, of course. Oh, we talked about them.
Doug Lee and Derek Funk. Derek Funk gave us little guys. He walked him like, oh, I'm gonna shut him down. Man, I'm gonna have 3 points back then. Just imagine what him and Doug would have been doing to us, man.
Yeah.
Man.
So who'd I leave out? I mean, the Mid-State,
Terry Smith,
10.
Terry Smith, Spalding.
Terry Smith and Spalding.
Kenny Drummond, of course.
Fox.
Yeah, so night in, night out, it was a dog fight. They were great times. And man, we lived them. And it's good to talk about them again. So I want to thank you, brothers, for coming on tonight to talk about the Super Six and representing Bob Buford, representing Steve Harvey, representing Lamont Hanson, Tony Gulley, thank you for being on. I love you, brothers. I ain't got to tell you that.
I love you
and
too.
I
appreciate what you're doing, man.
A safe
Keep it up.
holiday season, and can't wait to see you when I get back to P-Town. All right.
Do that.
We all we got, right?
And I got one more thing, boo. I'm about to tell you.
Please don't talk about that game in the field house.
This ain't no game. This is just one good plug. Bobby Woods told me to tell both of y'all hi. He said he hadn't seen you in a while.
All right, B Woods. What's up?
What's up, Bobby Woods? Bobby Woods got my number, man. Holler at me when you get the chance.
Right.
He went to Central for a minute and tried out. He should have made the team.
He started at Manual. He left starting at Manual. I don't know why he was starting.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
He was starting at Manual. Bobby was starting and left.
B Woods, boy. I tell you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure seeing y'all, man.
Pleasure.
Y'all take care, and we'll do it again.
Definitely.
We always got more to talk about.
Keep it going.
All
Keep
right.
it going.
All right, brother.
Hello.
Back at you.
Yep.